hello again to another Aga Calero React, and today we have Date Night with Eric. Yay! And we're watching what?
We're watching Why Europeans Hate Living in the United States from World According to Briggs. I'm going to make some predictions here. Being from the United States myself, I would say the taxes. You go to the store, you buy a bottle of water, it reads $1. You go to the counter, you're paying the deposit, which is now here as well, and some kind of tax. You're paying like $1.25. $1 and $1. It's like saying a quid. So.
Did you find that really annoying last time you were in the States?
No.
You were okay with that?
Yeah. I'd say another thing would be the amount of violence there is in the United States. I mean, geez Louise, it will mess you up. Taxes, violence. No health care. You can't go to the doctor without you paying thousands of dollars. You know, you need an ambulance. It's going to cost you a few grand. People would say have a different type of measurement in blocks. You know, no one in the world will know what a block is until you go to the United States.
Yeah.
You know.
just the imperial measurements are just kind of ridiculous if you think about it too.
Yeah. So someone asks me direction. Oh, it's 3 blocks that way. Then go. What's he talking about? Blocks. Yeah, the measurements. You know.
Well, I don't think that would be something to make, like, oh, I don't want to live there because of measurements. But in general, that would be something that would be confusing for Europeans, except maybe Irish and British, because they still can't. Here they're using the mix of both. Like the whole rest of the Europe, like Poland, uses only metric. But here let's say a child is born and the weight is shown in pounds. When you're talking about your own weight, you're talking pounds or stones even here. But if you're buying something in the store, you're talking grams. Unless you're in the butcher, they're showing prices per pound. It's really kind of confusing too, but it would be even more confusing for like someone who is an English speaker and goes to America from Europe, and actually the rest of the world. And yeah,
that's nothing. When you're in America, speak English. Regardless, you know, there is no national language.
Yeah.
You know, Americans are a group of people from all over the world. We speak every language, not just English. You know, there's Americans who speak Japanese, Russian, Spanish. You know, it's the United States of America.
Yeah.
Every language is America, or United States. But you'll get that a lot.
Good. Let's see what this guy has to say, because it's probably gonna be all of what you mentioned.
We'll see.
And some extras.
Just some predictions.
Yeah.
Since the 1700s, Europeans have been coming to the Americas en masse. That's starting to slow down. Why, you ask? Well, in this video, we're going to find out. I ran a survey asking foreigners to the US, would they want to live in the United States? If they said no, there was a follow-up question of why. I listed 50 different things that are most commonly talked about as negatives to the United States.
Wow.
And before you do, stop typing. Every country, every state, every small town, every village, every neighborhood has some negatives.
Yeah, that's true.
Nothing's perfect. So this video is based on their responses. Now about the survey, I had a few answers from Africa and not many from Asia. Europe and South America gave the only decent amount of replies. Europe gave about 2,700 replies and South America gave a little over 2,100 replies. I got about 400 from Central America. So today we're looking at the European results to find out why Europeans won't move to the United States. Got it? Get it? Good. Let's take a look.
Oh, yeah.
Number 10, racial tensions. Yeah, we've always had racial tensions, and really every country on the planet has racial tensions. The difference is we have ours on blast in the media every single day. Each political faction in the United States blaming the other faction for it. But the US has a complex history of racial tensions and inequality, perceived differently by Europeans who may not fully understand the social dynamics and historical context that we have here in the United States. Now, this can contribute to their concerns about discrimination and social cohesion. Side note, cohesion is one of my favorite words. One man named Gerald from Suffolk, which is in England, said he lived in Virginia for 2 years for a job. His wife is a very dark-skinned Indian, and he said she was treated very poorly. Actually, his exact phrase was, like a poor chimney sweep. Not totally sure what that is. Racial tensions got 111 votes.
Really?
Yeah.
Number 9, access to
come
public
on.
transportation.
Yeah, think about it. Europeans.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't use it here, but it's a really, really common thing to use it in Europe. Like in general, like in any big city or something. Like if you be living in Limerick or something, there's public transportation there. There's public transportation anywhere. It's not frowned upon to use it. Like in America, if you look, I hear seen those opinions basically saying, oh, if you're using public transport in America, that's when you're poor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't go like that in Europe.
There's a lot of things that make you look poor. Your clothing, if it's not new, the kind of car you drive. That's how when I grew up in the 90s. You know, if you wanted in the 90s I was a kid, so I say girlfriend, not a partner. You'd have to have a nice car, you have to have nice clothes, you have to have a good job. You know, if you work at McDonald's, like, no, you're not worth dating.
Yeah, but still, it's there. I think that's actually, there's a big difference between how we perceive public transport in Europe and how we perceive public transport, how people perceive public transport in America. And that kind of, I've seen even a meme now because America is organizing the World Cup in 2026. So there's someone like a European coming to America and just looking for public transportation, because that's pretty much what it is, yeah? And it's just like, the face was kind of like crestfallen because there is barely any public transportation.
Is that? Oh yeah. I mean, I grew up taking the bus as well as a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
to school?
To school, and then if I wanted to hang out with my friends. And you learn that the buses are going to be late and sometimes not show up at all.
Well, yeah, that can happen anywhere.
Because buses break down, and you expect that. If the last bus is at 10 p.m., take the 9 p.m. bus, because the 10 p.m. bus may never show.
Yeah, but that could be like kind of like that everywhere. I remember one time when I was living in Spain, it's just like we were waiting for bus and that never show up either.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not saying the public transportation is perfect in Europe. I'm just saying it's more available, and it's not such a, how to say it? It's not such a frowned upon by people when you're using it. Like for stories from Ted when he says when he travels in bus and stuff like that. It's just,
it's bad.
It sounds scary.
It is. You get a lot of violent people.
And honestly, we remember when we were going from, first time I went to States to visit you. We stayed in San Francisco for a few days, and then from San Francisco we were going to San Jose in a bus. That was the scary lady that she wouldn't like give the place. Like there was the bus was pretty like kind of full already, and
I don't remember.
Yeah, but that's how I remember. Yeah. So basically, she had her bag on the seat and she wouldn't move it. She was just really aggressive about it too. So I'm like, okay. And then all the stories from Eric's brother about.
Did you ever take Caltrain?
That was the other time.
San Francisco, San Jose.
We took the train one time and we took a bus. We were taking bus from San Francisco, so from San Jose to Los Baños.
Okay, that would make more sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. We took the train from San Francisco to San Jose.
Yeah.
Now, it's no secret that Europe has a much better public transportation system than here in the US. We've made great strides over the last couple decades, but we still lag far behind Europe, and this seems to bother them quite a bit. They aren't as obsessed with driving and owning a car as we are here in the United States. The United States is a car culture. They do make some amazing automobiles in Europe, they're just not on board with it as much as we are. But European cities often have well-developed public transportation system, making car ownership optional for many residents, where we basically rely on it. There are a few cities in the United States where they have decent public transportation, and you could pretty much live there without owning a car. New York City's a perfect example. Portland is pretty good in that respect. Same thing with Chicago. Seattle has a solid public transportation system. One man said Ireland's public transportation is better than the United States, and Ireland's is shit. Access to public transportation got 112 votes.
The IRS.
Number 8, the IRS. Yeah, believe it or not, the IRS was a big complaint by foreigners, and they had a lot to say about it. This one, I think, got the most comments out of all of them. Obviously, it didn't get the most votes. Here it is at number 8 instead of number 1, but the comments were definitely against the IRS and our tax system. A lot of the countries said that they don't have to file taxes. It's taken out of their checks automatically, and there's no, tax day in their country. But a lot of them mentioned how much paperwork there was, and it was mind-blowing. One person said, and I kind of looked it up, and I found some facts about it, or just some things to support it, but it said the IRS is so much of a pain that American citizens are often denied banking facilities in Asia. Now, don't hold me to that. That's just what one person said. I saw a couple things online about it. I don't know much about that one, but I thought that was strange. If anyone has more information on it, let me know in the comment section below. I mean, everyone in the United States hates the IRS, but now Europeans are hating it too. One man said, I haven't been to the US in 15 years. When I think about the 3 times I had to fill out tax forms, he called it the Americas, he said I get pissed. Taxes in the IRS got 127 votes.
I mean, like, when I got married and moved over here, I had to sign a paper stating that I'm not American taxpayer. Like, I never lived in America, but because you're American, and that there's something to do with IRS, that basically an American government that have all of the banks worldwide have to put all of their customers stating that if they have American tax something. That was years ago, so I don't remember exactly what it was. But the same thing happened here in Ireland, and the same thing happened in Poland. I have to basically sign a paper stating that I'm not American citizen and I don't do taxes there. Nothing like that. So it's like, I'm sure it was just like weird. There you go, another one.
Number 7, work-life balance. I also put free time on there because a lot of people don't understand it as work-life balance in other countries. They call it their free time or their vacation time, different things like that. Anyway, many European countries prioritize work-life balance with shorter work hours, generous vacation time, and strong labor protections. In contrast, the United States is known for longer work hours, fewer vacation days, and a culture that often prioritizes work over personal time. And that's true to a degree. I mean, all of us know that we have a pretty crappy work-life balance here in the United States. Now, there are other countries, especially in Asia, that are far worse than us here in the US, but they're comparing Europe to the United States, not Asia. So that's where a lot of these responses came from. One man said, my wife made us come back to Switzerland because she said she started to forget what I look like. One lady, I'm assuming she was a lady, but she said, 1 week I saw the Uber Eats guy more than my boyfriend. So we came back to London. Work-life balance or free time got 130 votes. Number 6, the healthcare system. It's pretty bad that used car lots have a better reputation than the healthcare system here in the United States. Everybody knows if you go to a hospital or you have a doctor's appointment, you're gonna get ripped off. At a used car lot, 50-50 chance you're getting ripped off. One man said while living in Miami, he was playing a soccer game, or football, he said, and he blew out his knee. He could walk, but it needed to be operated on. And he said it was far cheaper to fly back to the UK, rent an Airbnb, get surgery, recover for 3 days in an Airbnb, and fly back to the US. On a personal note, not in the survey, but I knew a girl that she was a San Diego sheriff. I went to school with her. She's retired now, but her father was older. He was actually a Los Angeles County sheriff. His medication as he got older was so expensive, she actually sold their house down there and she quit her job and moved up to Washington so she could go across the border into Canada and get his medication for 1/10 the price. I had a long conversation with her about it. It was sad. This was a handful of years back when it was next to impossible to have your medication sent from Canada to here in the United States. This one, though, should be no surprise to any American. We all know that our healthcare system is crazy expensive and complicated. It's good, and you get good results, but it's too expensive for most Americans to actually afford. And the Europeans know this, and it kind of stops a lot of them from coming here. In 2022, they did a study where they figured out the per capita healthcare expenditure by developed countries. Down towards the bottom, you had Mexico with about $1,100 a year, Brazil, $1,500 a year. You get up to Poland, it's about $2,900 a year. Spain was $4,400 a year. Korea is about $4,500 a year. UK is about $5,400 a year. Denmark, you get all the way up into $6,270 a year. Australia's $6,596. Switzerland is $8,000. The US is the absolute most expensive, $12,555. That's per capita healthcare expenditure. A lot of the countries well below us have better results than we do here in the United States when it comes to our healthcare. Healthcare got 132 votes. Number
Yeah, I
5,
just seen a
education
post
costs.
yesterday.
Yeah, a lot of
Someone
countries.
they said that himself and his wife had 23 years ago. They had a student loan 70,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were paying, I think, monthly 500 for past 23 years. They still have 70,000 to pay off.
Because it builds interest.
Yeah, and it was just so much interest though, because if you count all those years, 23 years, and that's 130 something thousand that they paid off, and they still have 70, more than they would take.
Yeah.
I'm like, that would be cheaper. I'm just start thinking why a lot of Americans doesn't think about just coming to Europe. You know, it's much cheaper. Like
It is.
for for that 60,000, you probably pay for the education for all of the thing, and then the living expenses and stuff like that as well.
You're better off just going to a community college, get the same education.
Yeah,
It's not from the greatest school,
but you have it.
but you have the education. As long as you do your job. it's
Community
fine.
college isn't free either, isn't it?
No, it's not. You're still paying. When I was at community college, you're still paying $90 a book for one book.
Yeah, the books are expensive. But
Yeah,
there's the
and
same
then the
thing
class.
here.
And then if you want to go in for a specific field, you got to take all these classes that are not related to that field just to get to that field.
Oh.
So it was. They make you spend money.
It's just
It's not worth it. You know, what was that? Goodwill Hunting. Get a free public library card.
Yeah.
You know, read a freaking book. Take a YouTube video.
And now you do it. Well, 23 years ago, that was a bit different story, but still.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on how the information is conveyed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, nowadays you can go online. Like, my wife bought me some Udemy classes. You know, they're on sale for $12. And this one online college, I guess it's called Northwest, they offer a diploma if you take their 75-hour course for that $12. So I don't think anybody's going to look at it and say, "Oh yes, you are educated. Yeah, you have a diploma on this. Cost you $12 compared to thousands." You know, but still, you have the information. You know what's going on. I'm using Udemy as, like I told my wife here, that if I'm interested in something, I'll take that class. If I'm still interested after that, maybe I'll look into a college and take a more expensive college, see if it's the same information as taking the €12 class. Anyway.
Okay.
Yes.
Something else to add?
No. I'll be rambling on for hours.
In Europe, the education's really inexpensive when you compare it to the United States. Now, if you just look at public colleges, it's about $8,000 here in the United States on average. If you include the private colleges, it gets up to about $14,000. The United Kingdom is really close to what we got going on in the United States as far as cost goes. But other developed countries, it's a different story. Take a look at Japan, $5,228 a year. Canada's a little bit lower than that with $4,900 a year. You go to Australia, $4,700 a year. The Netherlands is $2,400 a year. Switzerland, $1,100 a year. France, $217. Germany, it's all free. No tuition. That's not even counting your, like, your housing and all that stuff.
on.
One guy from Poland said he'd looked into coming to the United States, but it was far too expensive. I think he should have come to the United States because he had like 5 misspelled words. I don't know what's going on in the Poland school system, but never has 2 E's in it. 140 people voted for education cost.
I really hope that he was joking.
Number 4, political climate. Yes, it's not just a nightmare here in the United States. Our political climate is known throughout the world as a total mess right now. We have Americans at each other's throats over politics, which should not be a thing. Each side of the political spectrum, the politicians are convincing their people that the other side is trying to destroy the country. We've always had a little friction between the parties when it comes to politics here in the United States, but nothing like what's going on to this day. It's actually ridiculous. I don't care what political party you're from, watch the news and you'll notice, like, let's say the same congressman, you know, a handful of congressmen will get on media outlet, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a radio show, whether it's a cable news channel, or make a YouTube video. They have like the phrase of the week and they use it and they say it over and over and over till you start saying it. And it's both parties. Both parties will do this. And it creates friction because basically they're telling you what to think. When they're all saying it at the same time, you start to take it as fact. And it's just something they do. They get together and they come up with the phrase of the week. And like I said, both parties do it. No one's immune. Watch, next time there's some kind of issue with the other party, whichever, you know, one you follow, and all of a sudden the other party has an issue, you'll see the politicians from whatever side you're on say the same thing over and over and over for about a week or two. But the perceived political polarization and instability in the US, especially in recent years, may make Europeans wary of moving to a country with a political tension as high as we have here in the United States. The parties are so different from each other now, policies can fluctuate dramatically with the change of an administration.
Oh, yeah.
That scares a lot of people, especially if you're not from here and you realize it's just all a bunch of talk for the most part. Political climate got 144 votes. Number 3, immigration policies. Now, this one's gonna seem a little strange, especially what we hear on the news these days about people just flooding in across the southern border and all that stuff. But this is more to do with the process of people trying to get in here legally. Changes in immigration policies, such as restrictions on visa programs and pathways to citizenships, may create uncertainty and make it more difficult for Europeans to navigate the immigration process. The amount of paperwork that's involved in this is insane. Now, it's pretty much that way for a lot of countries. I mean, no one's just got, fill out your name and your address and you're a citizen. There's always some hoops to go through in every country, but the United States, it's a little hard to navigate. I heard Canada's really hard to navigate too, but that'll keep a lot of people away. Especially what we got going on in this country right now. There's going to be policy changes left and right for the next few years, I guarantee. 210 people voted for immigration policies. Number 2, language barriers. While English is widely spoken in the US, Europeans may still face challenges with accents, dialects, and language nuances that differ from what they're accustomed to, which could create communication barriers and feelings of isolation. Now, this is a big thing. We have some pretty serious shifts with the way we speak from state to state. South is very different from what you got going on in California. You could come here from Germany and go end up in a small town in Mississippi. They might actually look at someone from Mississippi and go, is this dude speaking English? What is going on here? Now, most Europeans do speak English. I shouldn't say most, but a higher rate than Americans speak other languages. So we do have a pretty serious language barrier for a lot of different people, and the dialects play a big part. I mean, I'm from California. I'm from a beach community, and some of the things I say on this channel, English-speaking people ask me what I'm talking about sometimes. But this one got more votes than I really thought it would. I mean, I didn't think this was much of a big deal, but it showed up at number 2 with 325 votes. All right, before we get to number 1, don't forget we have another channel called The Sweet Life for Briggs. It's about travel and cruises and stuff like that. There's a link for that down below.
What language was hey?
On to number 1.
What's the spelling?
H-E-J. I think it's Swedish. Okay. Or
Norwegian.
Norwegian.
Polish as well. Hey.
Yeah.
H-E-J?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Polish as well. Hey. Yeah, but it could be other one too. It's not only for Polish. There you go. Look at this.
Gun violence. Yeah.
And number 1, crime and gun violence. Yes. This is the biggest one. While gun ownership is common in some European countries, the prevalence of firearms and high rates of gun violence in the US, along with relatively relaxed gun laws in some states, can be alarming to a lot of Europeans who are not accustomed to this type of culture. Now, I'm not taking a stance on either side. I own firearms.
No,
I was in the military. But we're
No.
talking about people.
No, look.
I'm not taking a stance on either.
You can see the threading here and the threading there.
Yeah,
Maybe.
but there was thread together when that was on loose, and then they actually attached it to the table. So you can't really, you can twist it and twist it and twist it, but it's not going to get. You won't
looks
be
like
able.
an iron bar too.
Yeah,
Why
but-
just bend it?
Yeah, iron bar. Alright, Superman now.
Yes.
Okay, we're debating from. Oops.
Sorry.
From the
Either side. I own firearms. I was in the military. But we're talking about people from other countries coming to this country. And it is alarming to a lot of them, especially when they see the high rate of shootings we have and how often firearms are used in crimes. One guy said, in America, you go to get a pint and you may never see home again.
Yeah.
I was like, that's kind of rough. Go to get a beer
sit at a
and
bus
someone
stop.
gets shooting. I'm sure it happens, but it's not like an hourly occurrence here in the United States. But yeah, compared to a lot of other countries, we have a ton of gun violence and a lot of crimes. I mean, no place is immune from crimes. We just have ours on blast in the media and online and everything else like that. So it's really the perception that they have. How close it is to the reality of the situation, who knows? But we're talking about what they think. And they think the entire country is Southside Chicago without really thick pizza.
Let's go to work.
Gun violence got 443 votes. That's a lot. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out. Have a great day.
I'm never going to see 18, turn 18. I'm never going to see 21, turn 21. I'm never going to see 30. 30, you know. So, it's true. Now I'm like, I'm never going to be old enough to retire. I'm like, should have started saving years ago.
Yeah. If
I don't have any money to retire, I'll just move back to the States. Go, everybody, I'm back.
Shoot me.
It's like, shoot me.
Why would you go retire to America? You're working here in Ireland, so you're gonna be entitled to retirement pension in Ireland, and that you can travel.
I plan to be in Ireland when I'm 60-something years old.
No, I'm just saying that time that you're working here in Ireland, and if you move to a different country in the European Union, that counts for that as well.
Oh, wow.
They go together.
Awesome, that's cool. I never heard of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I never told you that.
No, we had something called what was that freaking thing called?
401k?
No, that's a private. I forget what it's called. But they took it away. Social Security.
Oh, they didn't really took it away. It's just
For my generation, they did.
Oh.
They said everybody at this certain age will still get it. But then my age, they recommend going to a private plan. Your employer's 401k, look into stocks and bonds.
I think that Social Security is still. I made a reaction for.
Oh, we're still paying for it. That's for the older generation. That's the last thing I heard of it. If they change it since I've been in the States, then I don't know. But as far as I know, I'm not getting any kind of retirement help from all the taxes I paid.
How do you see that video, all those things, as an American living in Europe?
I get it.
You get it?
Yeah.
Would you be getting that before you moved here? Would you understand
No,
that?
because it's normal for me there.
No.
Yeah, you grew up with it every day, so it's absolutely normal. When you come from outside, like the European Union, it's a shock because you're not used to it.
Yeah. Some of the things still kind of shock me about America, and it's just you thinking it's a first world country, but some of the places that they're showing, it's so underdeveloped and so backwards.
Yeah.
There's just
Like at my work, if there's an argument and a fight, and I look at customers, and they're shocked. They're going, "Oh my God, they're disgusted. People are arguing. They're throwing each other on the ground. They're surprised." In the United States, there's a dead body on the floor. People walk by like it's nothing there. You know,
okay.
It's like, "Oh, great, yeah, no dead body. Okay, eat some popcorn, keep walking." It is that normal. No one's shocked. They're just
terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it's a part of life.
Yeah, I guess.
You know, you grew up with it, you're used to it, and it's no big deal if you see a body on the floor.
Sad.
That's the way it is.
True though.
I guess it's a cruel world.
Cruel country.
Yes. This is California, folks. If you've ever been to California. Any other 50
I don't think
states.
it's only California in the United States.
It might be different somewhere else, but
and
where I grew up.
And you haven't lived there in California for how many years? Because you moved from States 10 years ago. More than 10 years ago. So you live in Ireland 10 years, and you moved from California to Vegas even a year before that. So
Yeah. No, it's been a while.
Anything else to add?
No.
I actually agree with the list. The language thing would be kind of surprising for me, but I understand. My English is not my first language, so I would absolutely understand. Like I'm living in Ireland, was it 18 years, and I still sometimes find people hard to understand. And I'm guessing me speaking English, it's sometimes hard for some people to understand me as well. And so I can understand it, but it's quite high on the list in my opinion. Like to me, the gun violence would be one of the reasons not to move there. The taxes, I never filed the taxes in my life. You do have to file taxes in Poland, but I just never had a chance to do it. Because I left kind of young, and before I couldn't find a job, so I didn't have to file anything. The only thing is that never mind. And public transport and healthcare and work life. The vacation things and stuff. I'm used to it.
Vacation? What the heck's that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's such a...
Yeah, I'm working 7 days a week with 2 jobs.
You were, yeah. You're not working out.
No.
You make it sound like you're working out.
No, I am too old for 2 jobs now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how my brother does it, but freaking hell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's hard.
Yeah. I got lazy, I guess. I'm only working one 39-hour job.
Yeah.
I'm going, look at that. A lot of free time. I'm reading books again.
You're actually working to live instead of living to work.
Yeah. They
So.
pay you livable wages.
Mm-hmm.
Where in California, you need 3 jobs to make the same thing. And you have no free time.
Yeah, because we're working so much.
And if you have kids, you are screwed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because kids are expensive, folks.
That's everywhere.
Not here, apparently. Pop one out and government takes care of you?
No, not really.
No? They give
No,
you,
this
what,
is
6 months?
This is just here. It's 6 months of pay for the maternity leave. In Poland, I think it's 6 months as well, or is it a year? I don't know. I never had children, never planned children, so I never really looked into it. So, but yeah, it's just. But the thing is that obviously the fact that they said what they said about taxes, the taxes are taking away from your wages, so you don't have to worry about it. But part of the taxes going for that maternity leave as well. You know, so it's not like the maternity leave in most cases it's not paid out from the employers. It's paid out from social, not social security. It's from all the taxes that were collected and things, all those payments and stuff like that. I remember when I was a kid and I seen my mom's, I think some payslip or something like that, and I was like really young. Yeah, must have been like 10, 11 or something like that, and like a third of her thing was gone. Because they're showing, I'm just getting this here. Because there was a health insurance, there was pension taken out, and there was taxes taken out. So third and nearly fourth would be gone. But that's how that kind of, I think I appreciate that more. That way, not just doing everything, taking care of your own healthcare, taking care of your own taxes,
I already have this system.
Taking care of your pension as well. So, yeah, that was kind of interesting video. Thank you very much for watching. You see me tomorrow and see Eric next week. Bye.